Welcome to our executive interview series at the Trellix Cybersecurity Summit presented by FedScoop and Cyberscoop. I'm Wyatt Cashin. We're here with Ken Kartsen, Senior Vice President of Trellix. Ken, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to start by asking, what are the biggest challenges that you're seeing the public sector facing in trying to defend against the expanding attack surface of organizations and also the extended software supply chain?
That's a great question. And I think in today's age of the evolution of security and the threats and the pervasive threats that we see, we think about the landscape. We think about what cloud and SaaS provide and vulnerabilities that will help enable that as well, and attack vectors that can be compromised. But I think the biggest threat today is probably the supply chain management. The ability to look at your infrastructure and know what other pieces of software have been implemented in that infrastructure that are far and wide ranging, that can come from any part of this world. And over the last few years, we've started to inspect that a little bit more aggressively, but it's been so inherent in that supply chain for so many decades at this point, and we've seen the impact on things like SolarWinds. I think we're first really starting to understand what that can mean to the vulnerability of our organization and other organizations.
And next, I'd like to ask, what are the biggest challenges that you're seeing in terms of agencies being able to meet the White House executive order on zero trust security? And how confident are you that agencies will be able to meet some of the key deadlines for implementing zero trust in the next year?
That's also a great question. I am very confident that agencies and departments can hit those milestones, but the things that they have to overcome are enormous. As a private sector company, it's a lot easier for us to be nimble at times. And when we're looking at zero trust and all the different pillars that exist of that and the identity and all of the security enablement that needs to take place throughout that ecosystem, it is super difficult to embark on that journey because of all the legacy tech investments that are in your infrastructure today that are being leveraged, that are being utilized, and being able to evolve into a next generation of technology. The other thing is the tremendous amount of investment and funding that takes to do, and then it's the people and process. This is not simple. It is super complex, but I do believe that there is enough pressure and enough funding and enough smart people in our public sector to be able to enact these zero trust capabilities.
Well, Ken Kartsen, thank you so much for joining us here at the Trellix Cybersecurity Summit.
Thank you very much for having me.